In today's video, I have with you the most versatile fragrances in my collection. If you're interested, then just keep watching. Before we get into the video, I do want to quickly introduce myself for those of you who may be new here. My name is Aisha. I make videos about fragrance, beauty, luxury, and lifestyle. If those are things you're interested in, please consider subscribing. And if you are a returning subscriber, hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So as I said, in today's video, we'll be talking about the most versatile fragrances in my collection. And basically the criteria that I use for this are fragrances that I can wear year round. So any season, day or night, they work for church, work, date night, all of the above. So I feel like that is a very hard feat because for me particularly, I love to tie specific occasions to certain fragrances. And so even though you are welcome to wear whatever you want, whenever you want, I personally don't love wearing like a super fruity fragrance in the dead of winter. I mean, we don't really even have the dead of winter here, but y'all get what I'm saying. Likewise, I don't like wearing something so fresh and elegant out on a sexy date night. So just keep in mind that you obviously can wear what you want to wear, but for me, the fragrances we're going to talk about, they work well in all of these situations, in my opinion. Day, night, year-round use. So I think I have about 11 fragrances to share with you, and I have one honorable mention. So we're going to start out today with the honorable mention. So the honorable mention that I have is none other than Baccarat Rouge 540. And the reason this is an honorable mention is because I don't really talk much about this fragrance anymore because I know people are sick of hearing about it. And so I'm not going to spend any time on it. We're not going to talk about how it smells, but just know this is perfect, in my opinion, for any type of occasion, any season. The regular Eau de Parfum. I do own the extrait as well, but I think the regular Eau de Parfum is more versatile because I don't feel like it's ever overpowering in the heat, whereas sometimes the extrait can feel like a bit much on a really hot day, in my opinion. So again, that is Baccarat Rouge 540, the honorable mention. So the first real fragrance on this list is Bond Number 9, Greenwich Village. This fragrance I haven't had too long, but I have to tell you all, since I've gotten it, I have worn this fragrance a lot. I actually just wore it yesterday. And this fragrance to me smells like a light, airy, citrusy, kind of slightly musky scent. Very hard to describe for me. It is sweet. It's kind of fruity smelling, but it's not a fruity scent. It's a citrusy, fruity smelling, in my opinion. Quite hard to describe, and when you smell it, you may think it's not much going on it, but honestly, when I wear this, it is so addictive. There's something in this that just makes me want to keep smelling it, and it's hard for me to describe what that is, but every time I smell it, I want to smell it more and more. So I think this works perfectly well in all the seasons. I did get it in the summer, and I haven't had it during a cold period yet, but I definitely can see myself wearing this in the cold as well, just because there's something quite bright and fresh about this, but then there's also something kind of very sweet and smooth about this. So I think it would work well year round, no matter the occasion, even for a sexy date night. I think the addictive quality that this fragrance has will make it work well for date night too, even though when you smell it, you may not necessarily think it's a sexy fragrance. It's kind of like quietly sexy, not try too hard sexy, and I love it. So again, that is Greenwich Village by Bond Number 9. Next fragrance is one that I've talked about a ton, but I love it and I had to include it in this video. This is Amouage Sunshine Woman. This is one of my favorite fragrances, and to me, this smells like an apricot fragrance. So it smells like apricots. It does have some tobacco in it. I believe it's white tobacco, but to me, it just smells like a very clean tobacco mixed with apricot and a little bit of floral nature. There's also a little bit of sweetness to this fragrance, and it kind of smells a little bit almondy as well. Apricot is not a note in this fragrance. Osmanthus is the floral note that is predominant in this fragrance, and sometimes osmanthus can smell like apricot to certain people. So that's what it smells like to me. And I love it. This is absolutely gorgeous. I have worn this on all those occasions that I mentioned before. And though I tend to reach for this more during the spring, summer, I also reach for it a lot during the fall, winter. So I think this works perfectly for year round. I know some people don't like wearing this in the summer because they think it's too heavy, but in my opinion, it works no matter the season. Like, honestly, this is one of those fragrances that if you love it, I feel like it's definitely worth the money, although it is expensive, because you can wear it to so many different occasions. So if you're the signature scent type of person and you want to have just like a couple fragrances, I mean, this would be a great contender if you love the scent. Obviously, the scent is not for everybody. It's kind of a more complex scent, but I think the people that love it really love it, like myself. So again, that is Amouage Sunshine Woman. The next fragrance is one that may be a little bit controversial, but just hear me out, okay? Because I'm right there with you if you don't agree when I first talk about this fragrance. So anyway, the fragrance we are talking about is Tom Ford Oud Wood. Now, this fragrance is newer to my collection. I was actually sent this from Influencer, but I don't have to talk about it. I didn't have to talk about it at all. But it made its way to this video because I feel like it's quite versatile. Now, hear me out. It's Oud Wood, right? I had smelled this before. It was not in my collection. When I smelled it in store, I always thought it was a little heavy, and I was planning on getting it this fall winter for the fall winter. However, it got sent to me probably like a month or so ago, and I wore it in the heat. And let me just tell y'all, this can get it any time of the year. Any time of the year. So to me, this is a spicy, woody scent. It does have oud in there, but to me, when I smell it, I don't really smell oud. I smell some other type of wood. Something more like sharper, drier, like sandalwood in my opinion. Sometimes oud to me can come off stinky, and this to me does not have that at all. To me, this smells like more of a fresh, woody scent without being too fresh. And the spiciness also gives this more depth. Now, I know that doesn't sound like it's year-round appropriate, but honestly, it works so well in this hot weather that we have here, because once you spray this on the skin, I think as long as you keep your sprays moderate, whatever that means to you, then I think you can wear this year-round, because I wore it out in the heat, and the way it wears, it kind of has that transparent quality, which in my opinion makes it wearable, although the notes are like heavier notes. To me, it gives off such a clean, classy vibe, but it still has like a sexiness to it. So I could definitely see myself wearing this out on date night. And at the same time, I could also wear this to work. Like, it's so good. It is so good. I can't believe I waited this long to get this fragrance. I know it's popular, but I never really looked at it until a friend from college recommended it to me. She watches my videos. So hey girl, hey, if you're watching. But she recommended it to me. She said it was like her signature scent. And I was like, interesting. Because I always thought it just leaned more masculine. I never really paid attention to it. Then I went and smelled it, put it on my wish list for fall, winter, and got it in the summer and have been thoroughly enjoying it since, y'all. It's really, really good. So I would say if you are a woman and you have smelled this and thought it was too masculine, try a little bit on your hand or on your arm and just let it sit. Because like I said, although this is kind of heavier, it sits really, really nicely on the skin. And I think it's inoffensive while still being very unique and sexy. So again, that is Oud Wood from Tom Ford. Next fragrance is an oldie but a goodie. And this is none other than Giorgio Armani C. This is the original. This one is so good to me. I know this has been around forever. I know everybody has smelled this. I know nobody really cares that much about this fragrance anymore, but try to find your old bottle, pull it out, smell it again. Like, it's still, it's so good. So this is sweet. I think black currant is the main fruit in this, and it gives it kind of that kind of deeper fruitiness, almost like a wine-like type smell in my opinion. I don't think this is boozy, but I feel like it kind of goes slightly to that side. And then of course there are some spices in here, and there are also some florals in here as well. But to me, the florals kind of just add to the fragrance. They are not the star of the show. To me, the deep fruitiness mixed with the sweetness is more so the star of the show than the florals in my opinion. Anyway, I'm sure most of y'all have smelled this fragrance, but I think it works well year round. Day, night, spring, summer, fall, winter, anytime. I remember when I first got this fragrance like a long time ago, not this bottle, but when I got it a long time ago, I was into fragrances, but I didn't have anywhere near the collection that I have. And I used to reserve it for date night. Like, I thought it was like too deep, dark, and heavy way back then. But now I think it works perfectly, and I still think it works for date night. Like, I haven't worn this on a date recently, but I have worn it for like an in-house date, like a watch movie with my man type date, dinner in the house type date, and it worked really well for that. So honestly, I think that if you're looking for a fragrance, especially if you are new to fragrances, I don't know, you're probably not watching my videos, but if you're new to fragrances and you haven't smelled Armani C, go smell it. This is one that should be a staple in your collection if you're new to fragrances. It's gorgeous and quite versatile and quite likable in my opinion. Now I have heard the new, I think it's the C Intense, the newest version that came out. I've heard that was really nice too, and just like a more intense version of this one. But I haven't actually smelled that one, so I can't really speak on it. I have heard that if you have this one, then you don't need the new intense version, and so that's why I have not like tried to get my hands on it. But I've heard that one is great as well. So definitely, if you have the opportunity to smell both of them, smell both of them. But I honestly think this works really well year-round. The next fragrance is from Giorgio, and this is Italica. So I know a lot of people would probably wrinkle their nose at somebody wearing this in the summer because it is a sweet gourmand fragrance. Let's talk about how it smells. So it smells like almond, toffee, pastry type mix. It also has this very like lactonic nature to it. It's so good, y'all. This is so good. This smells so delicious to me. There is a little bit of spice in here. I believe saffron is the spice that I'm smelling in this fragrance. But overall, this is a very foodie type scent. So definitely not for everybody. Definitely not safe for blind buys because, like I said, it is quite foodie. And I know some people don't like those kinds of scents. But if you like those kinds of scents, you have to get your nose on this. This sounds like it's heavy. And I do think it holds up well in the cold weather, but I also think this works really well in the spring, summer, because this is another fragrance that kind of has that translucent quality once you spray it on your skin. And when I say that, it's really hard for me to explain because I'm not saying that it's a skin scent. I'm not saying it's a soft scent. I'm saying there's something that makes this a little bit more airy and not as dense of a fragrance, and that to me makes it way more versatile. If this was very heavy and dense, this will be even harder to wear for a lot of people, and I probably wouldn't wear this during the hot weather. So just keep that in mind. When I say something is translucent and smell, that's what I mean. Like it's not very dense. It's more so on the airier side, but I wouldn't necessarily call it airy either. So it's kind of in between. Hopefully that makes sense. But anyway, this smells so good, and I've worn this at many places. And although this is a foodie scent, and I often don't think of foodie scents as being sexy, this one is. Like, it's so good, y'all. I can't get enough of this fragrance. I really can't. But it's so good, and again, I think people that love this actually really, really love it. Whereas I know a lot of people don't like it, but the people that love it, okay? So this, again, is Giorgio Italica. This next fragrance is another one from Giorgio, and this is a Cento Overdose. So this fragrance is a fruity floral scent. To me, the fruits are quite prominent in this scent, so they smell like just a bowl of mixed fruits. When I smell this, I can't really pick out a fruit. It just smells like a bowl of like very lush fruit. There are also some florals in this. I couldn't tell you what florals, but to me, they kind of just even this fragrance out, make it smell a little bit less edible, and kind of give it that floral sweetness in addition to the fruity sweetness. Also, this fragrance has a tiny bit of a powdery note to it, which in my opinion just makes it smell a little bit more elegant. It's not a powdery fragrance, but when you smell this, it smells kind of muted with a powdery note. Hopefully it makes sense. But I love this fragrance. It's beautiful. I actually took this when I went on a little staycation probably a couple months ago. And this is the only fragrance I took, and it worked well in all of those situations. It worked well for date night. We went out to like a couple bars too. It worked well for that. It worked for brunch, obviously. It worked for everything we did, and I loved it. And although it works really well in the summertime, I don't think that it's so light that it won't work well in the wintertime, especially if you overspray this one. I just think that the way it smells, although it's a fruity fragrance, the way it smells can work well in any occasion, like all of these fragrances. So again, that is a Cento Overdose from Giorgio. So next up, I have two vanilla fragrances to share with you, and I'm grouping them together because I feel like they are kind of interchangeable, although they are not dupes. So first up, we have Kayali Vanilla 28. And then the alternative that I have is the 7 Virtues Vanilla Woods. Like I said, these fragrances are not dupes, but I feel like they kind of serve the same purpose for me and my collection. And I think that if you have one, I'm not sure that you need the other, but if you're a fragrance lover, you can definitely have both in your collection. But like if you're just looking to buy one of these, you can pick the one that you like the most. So the Kayali Vanilla 28 is more of a brown sugar sweet vanilla that has some spiciness to it as well. But overall, this is just more so of a sweeter vanilla brown sugar mix. Vanilla Woods is also a darker, deeper vanilla. It does have some sweetness as well, which I think comes from pear. It has a little bit of a fruity touch to it. And there are some spices and like woody notes way in the background, but I really just think they help to ground the fragrance. Overall, you just get this beautiful sweetened pear vanilla from this fragrance. So both of these can be worn year round to me. Although they are kind of darker vanillas, I definitely think that they can work in the hot weather. They can work in the cold weather. They can work for a date night. Now, I don't usually wear these on date night, but I, again, wear these for at-home date nights. But y'all know I have a lot of fragrances, so I have my certain like date night fragrances that I just really wear for date night. So these don't typically make the cut for me unless I'm mixing them with something else. But I definitely think that if you wore this on date night, your partner would love it. Like, your partner would love it. These are delicious smelling without smelling cheap. Sometimes delicious smelling vanillas, in my opinion, can just come off too juvenile. These don't smell like that. These are beautiful like starter vanillas, and even if you have a large collection, I definitely think you can fit at least one of these into your collection still, because they can just work in so many different situations, year-round use, and they can also be used for layering. So again, that is Kayali Vanilla 28 and Vanilla Woods from the 7 Virtues. The next fragrance is from the House of Sillage, and this is Wonder Woman 80th Anniversary Edition. This is the one with the star on top. This was sent to me quite a while ago, but I do not have to talk about it, but I definitely think it deserves to be on this list, so I am including it. So this is a beautiful vanilla again. But this vanilla is quite spicy, and it is warm, and it is fruity. I don't know what type of fruits are in this, but it definitely smells like there could be some sort of berries or even pear as well in this fragrance. It's just, to me, I can't identify what type of fruit is in this fragrance. It just smells like a fruity vanilla that is deep, and it's spicy, and it's so freaking good. However, it's not so dense that you can't wear this during the daytime. I think this works perfectly day, night, year-round use. It is just that perfect middle type of spicy, fruity vanilla that you can get away with in any occasion, honestly. It's so delicious smelling, and again, it's sexy as well, so perfect for date nights, but also perfect to wear to work. I don't think anybody would ever be offended if they smell this type of fragrance on you. It's just delicious smelling without being boring, in my opinion. So again, that is House of Sillage Wonder Woman 80th Anniversary Edition. I have one more vanilla fragrance to share with you, so I figure I might as well go ahead and get that one out of the way now, and then we can be done with the vanilla fragrances. But this is none other than the queen of vanillas in my collection, Nishanayani. This fragrance is beautiful. So this is not a basic vanilla by any means. This is a deep, thick vanilla that is not overly sweet. It is spicy, and then it has these kind of green citrusy notes to it as well. And this has ginger in it, which gives it that kick, that zing that only ginger can do, in my opinion. This is so good. It's so addictive. It is dense, and it gives you this cloud-like feeling when you're wearing it. However, you can still wear this in the summer. For me, I know some people think this is too heavy to wear in the summer, but to me, although this is a thick, dense, rich vanilla, I still think because it's not overly like foodie sweet, and it has that brightness from the citrusy notes in here and that ginger, I feel like those notes really uplift the vanilla, and I think this works perfectly well in the summer, and it never feels like too much. Now, this is one I don't overspray, but still, I probably do, if I had to guess, maybe like 8 to 10 sprays maybe. I don't know how many I do, but I don't overspray this one because I don't need to. It's just really good, y'all. It's really good, and it's one that I love, and every time I wear it, I feel like it's an experience. So I typically don't wear this for any everyday occasion, But I definitely could see this being somebody's signature scent if they loved it and they were into the whole signature scent thing. Like, it is absolutely delicious. And this one, again, is not for everybody. This is one you should smell for yourself, but it's absolutely perfect for me in all situations. So it had to be on this list, Nishanayani. This next fragrance that I have is from the House of Oud, and this is Keep Glazed. Now, this is a mango fragrance, which for me, I typically reserve all my mango fragrances for the summer, except for this one. This one has mango in it. It has some other tropical fruits in it too. I think guava, I believe. That's what it smells like to me, like mango and guava mix, and maybe some other fruits kind of in the background as well. But there's also a kind of sweetened lemon note to this fragrance, which in my opinion keeps it very like bright. And then there's also some woodiness to this fragrance, which grounds this fragrance. So I think because of all the things that go on in this fragrance, it just works well any time of year. Obviously it's mango, you can wear it in hot weather, but I've worn it in the cold. And because of that depth in the base notes, it just really works no matter what. It's just beautiful. I want to say delicious, but it doesn't smell edible, but it has some delicious notes to it, shall we say. And this is one of those fruity fragrances that I think just work year round, no matter what. So definitely get your nose on this one if you can and you like mango, because this is the mango fragrance that you can work with year round, date night, daytime, playground, kids party, wherever you want to take this fragrance, you can take this fragrance and it will perform. So again, that is the House of Oud Keep Glazed. And the last fragrance I have to share with you is another fruity fragrance that I think works perfectly year round, and this is Giorgio Armani. Look at this bottle. Like, this is just opulent. Look at that top. Love the detail on these bottles. So this fragrance is all about the pineapple. The pineapple in this is sweet, but in my opinion, it's not an overripe pineapple. It's like that just right pineapple where it's sweet, but also very bright smelling, a little bit of tartness to it. It's gorgeous. So it has that pineapple note, and then it also has some like darker, woodier notes in the base that really help to ground this fragrance and make it something special, y'all. This one is so good. It's hard for me to describe this one. I do have a whole video on it, which I probably described it better. So check that video out if you want to know more about this fragrance. But this just smells so amazing. Amazing. This smells so good. It has this airy quality to it that allows it to be worn during the summer, because although this is a pineapple fragrance, this is kind of like a beast mode type pineapple fragrance. And it, like I said, it has some depth to it. So the airiness that this fragrance has allows it to be worn during the hot weather. And then the depth that this fragrance has allows it to be worn during colder weather. This is perfect for like date night. I think I might wear this on my, I don't know. I was going to say I might wear this on my next date night, but I already had a scent picked out for that. So I don't know if I'm going to switch it, but this is so good, y'all. This is so, so good, and it's quite unique. It is not your typical pineapple. It doesn't go the Creed Ventus route of pineapple. It doesn't go the pineapple fruity floral route. This is like the pineapple of all pineapples, y'all. If you love pineapple, you need to get your nose on this. And don't be like me. Don't wait until next spring to check this out, because I think I purchased this in the spring or maybe late winter of this year, but it had been on my list for a while, but I was like, oh, I don't want a pineapple scent during the fall winter. No, this is the pineapple that you can wear any time of year. It smells so freaking good. Anyway, this is Lamar by Kajal. So those were the most versatile fragrances in my collection. If you have smelled any of these fragrances, let us know what you think of them down below. Also, let us know down below, what is that one fragrance in your collection that you know is going to be perfect in any situation. If you all enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you're already subscribed, make sure you have your notification bell on so that you don't miss a video from me. I typically upload videos 3 days a week, so definitely have that notification bell on so that you don't miss out. If you're not already following me on Instagram, come follow me over there so we can be friends and we can chit chat in the stories or the DMs. Just come connect with me over there. I hope you all enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.